I wanted to see this video from Mr. Happy.
And maybe a couple of other details that we
Yes, this
catch
is
or
Mr. Happy's.
probably don't catch. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comment section. So, without further ado, I'm just going to start playing the trailer itself, and we'll go from there. We'll do our freeze frames and our slowdowns and all of that. But man,
they didn't put Aaronville on the boat.
Wait to actually look at the sharks and all that in the water. I didn't even
See,
notice. Oh man,
I didn't notice the shark the first time.
I didn't even notice that last time.
I didn't notice that either. That's why we're watching this. This is cool.
And it all just zoomed by, so I'm kind of looking forward to slowing it down.
The Viper man bun is great. I do not like this face. I think this face looks bad. Really, like I just, it doesn't look like the guy in the CGI trailer. It feels like they needed to start fresh with a new face and not just slightly repurpose your face 5. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to make a brand new face, so they just put some stubble on male face 5 and put a little crease, which I don't know about that, but okay, that's my opinion.
They wanted to do a lot more cinematic things with the cutscenes, the in-engine cutscenes, and it's hard to tell if we get some of that here, or if they're just like new emotes that we're going to be seeing, because we see quite a few things that we don't have here. And I'd assume some of them are going to be
What's
emotes.
that little guy? I didn't notice him before. See that dinosaur?
Am I confident necessarily that this whole sequence is just like a new emote being added? Not really. I think this is something they custom made just for this, and that's about it.
Dang.
Really nice looking map though.
I was hoping that you would get the
really
map.
Nice looking fish.
Emote when you open your map.
Really nice looking everything.
Like in WoW.
But I'm glad to see, regardless, if it makes the cutscenes feel more alive.
It's lush.
More regularly.
It's
which
lush.
They've done a really good job in recent expansions. Then I'll take it. Because even just this benchmark is a lot more alive. Yeah, him drinking out of the
glug.
Skin.
Glug glug.
Got a big roar. Oh, we're going for that big roar. So I bet this is mostly custom made. Although the drinking of the water thing, I think we will get as an emote.
But can you use it on your chocobo?
Benchmark only, and that's fine.
Okay, and can you look wistfully in the distance?
Where we really have to start paying attention, because they sometimes have stuff that's way in the background that can be really, really hard to notice. So I'm going to mute it, and I'm going to set it to a really slow speed, and we are going to freeze frame through so much stuff just to make sure we don't miss a thing. So we've got all the wave rays. Like, I'm curious about that animation on the Marlboro that we just saw in the back right there. If that's a new one. Look at this animation over here.
Yeah, I see that.
That one's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on back there. But we have to, it's so hard to know. Some of them I recognize.
I don't know what that was.
We already have. Some of them are enemy moves.
Looked like somebody getting isekai'd into the world.
Blend in. But you saw that this move over here on the left, I believe that's just Phlegma, if I'm not mistaken. I think this one was Dragoon's current combo finisher. So I think that's all stuff we've seen. We just saw the regular, the Gunbreaker Faded Circle right there. So a lot of this stuff still the same, but this is new. So this looks like an AoE combo for Gunbreaker. So the big thing to notice is they did Faded Circle first from the Gunbreaker, and then immediately followed up with another AoE. So does it necessarily mean they're getting a speedy AoE combo like they have for their single target combo?
Oh my God.
I don't know, but it does.
This is so Galaxy Brain. This is why I knew I had to watch Mr. Happy's breakdown of this, because he knows what every spell effect looks like in the entire game, and he has every rotation memorized. So he's the one who's going to notice, oh, does this mean we're going to give a super speedy combo? There's no fucking way I would ever notice this stuff. Like, never. It
does look like it's some sort of AoE follow-up to Faded Circle at the very least. Whether it costs more gauge, different story altogether, but that's my first guess for that Gunbreaker piece right there. Then we get the Dragoon Nidhogg uppercut right here at the start. Just straight up makes a Nidhogg portal out of the ground.
That's so cool.
And just consumes. See, that's a great way to make Dragoon players forget that they're being reworked, is to just show that. Just Nidhogg coming out of the ground, a spiral of death.
The rework is
going to be a Life of
not,
the Dragon.
Listen, the rework isn't going to be that big. It's going to be not a big... It's not going to change that much stuff.
And move, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's Nidhogg, not Nidhogg. Now, Sage we saw pretty clearly before. It forms the circle, does an AoE.
Is that a bug?
I'm forgetting what animation that starts as, but if I had to guess, this is just one of their, like a basic AoE animation upgrade. It could be a Toxicon 4, but Toxicon, I don't know. I don't really think it's Toxicon 4. I think it's probably more likely just an upgrade to their AoE combo, but it's one of the two.
Okay.
Toxicon makes a lot of sense to me. I think it would make more sense to show that off.
Okay.
But it could just be a regular AoE upgrade that they're getting. Then, does
any Sage enjoyers in the chat have any guesses for that? Because that's one job I have not played. I'm bad at it.
Black Mage, we see, so obviously a Thunder spell.
Yeah.
What I don't remember, I haven't PvP'd as Black Mage in a while. Burst is a point blank AoE, if I recall, in PvP. So I don't know if it's Burst. I think it's another Thunder or High Thundara or something, because we did start getting the high spells for them with the, like, High Fire, High Blizzard. So it could be High Thunder.
High Thundara. Yeah,
I'd have to compare it side by side to the point blank burst animation that we have nowadays, but that was a pretty clear one to see the first time through. I'm also trying to pay a little bit of attention in the background. So this is the Summoner spell, by the way, and that looks like a Fester, an upgraded version of Fester, especially as you actually watch the animation go off. But the big thing is the animation for it is like, he's really dedicated to it right there. But it has bits of thunder orbs here at the end. So because we don't see a summon, it's assumed at the moment that this is probably a I-activated Ramuh.
What if it's Ramuh?
This was one of his spells kind of situation.
Oh,
so
shit. What if it's a thunder spell? It's thunder from a summoner.
Right
There's
there.
only one way a summoner can get thunder. It's from Ramuh.
Just in case you didn't know, you have the horn and the book. By the way, really liking that. Actually is a pretty cool looking book. I've made fun of a lot of books as of late. I haven't been looking at the weapons enough. That's definitely something, because you can get a pretty good look at the weapons for some of the jobs here, and some of them look pretty good. That one's a really
That's so cool. That looks awesome.
See right there. I can't even really see those. And the Black Mage staff,
yes,
way better looking ones. All right, that's it.
Now that I've watched Frieren, I want to play a caster really bad. I just finished watching that yesterday. It's pure mage class propaganda.
Okay, let's go back to the summoner. So yeah, that's the hope right here, is that this is a post-Ramuh sort of ability that he has.
Yes,
and,
I bet.
We're going to continue to hope for that.
And bet.
Then we have a monk move right here.
Okay.
So let me go back. Oh, actually, hold on. We have two monk moves. So look behind the summoner right here.
Okay.
You can see the monk does a dragon uppercut.
It's an uppercut.
Right
yeah,
there.
you can kind of see it.
And then they go past them and show another skill that I think is quite interesting with that one. So I think those are upgrades to Monk's basic combo skills.
Whoa.
You can see right there, he does what looks to be kind of a Hadouken in a sense. Now, listen, I want to be excited for Monk finally having some sort of ranged option. I know the Deep Dungeon players are really thinking it too. But I think these are upgrades to Monk's basic skills, which I think is going to happen in conjunction with something more important. But, you know, like, I think that's like a really basic, like a one trait thing that they can show off here without really feeling like they've given away too much.
Whoa.
But at the very least, that's where
it looked like a tiger's face.
It could be that the dragon skill is a new basic combo, like some upgrade to either boot shine or twin snakes or whatever. And that this could actually be a new forbidden chakra upgrade potentially, or just a new skill altogether. But that's a new animation. Where it belongs, we don't know, but that's definitely a new animation. Now, looking in the back right here, I see this enormous slash before we even get into the back over there. And you can see that's actually, I think that's an existing dancer skill. I'd have to look. Oh, no. It's just a really long animation. Looks like wow, okay. So I saw this animation the first time through. I hadn't noticed how early it started.
This fucking Cheerios flying in from outer space.
Look how long that animation is. It reminds me of
it almost looks like
Dance.
an LB.
I'm thinking Saber Dance 2. But that animation was
awesome.
Enormous.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed it last night.
Dude, are they making the skills even flashier than before?
The first time. That looks like a paladin cast right there. Oh no, that's just like a random blizzard spell actually from the mammal jaw.
It's from the enemy.
We don't have anything as we zoom through here. Looks like, yeah, we just have another
lot of good catches.
Animation going through. Yeah, that was a huge animation for the dance. I don't know how I didn't notice how big it was the first time through. All right. And as a reminder, we are going through on 0.25 speed to try to make sure we don't...
Yeah, it was a suspiciously big animation.
Anything, yeah. The random fire ones and blizzard ones coming from the mammal jaw mages kept confusing me throughout all of that. Because I'm like looking, there's an animation in the back, and then it's just a mammal jaw casting a spell. All right, so now we just have...
Wait, so you're actually, everyone else is fighting the monsters, and you're just running through to ninja the loot. That's actually what's going on. Because you look at the map, and you're like, okay, where's everybody? Okay, they're all fighting all this stuff, and the loot, the treasure is where? Okay, so I'm just gonna... You're just speeding past everyone else who's actually doing work to go straight to the...
Oh, goodness. Okay, so this section I've been kind of dreading. I hope there's not
griefing.
Too much that's hard
He's
to
not
see
doing
here,
anything to help.
But we'll just have to wait and see. Like, I'm looking at that animation right there, but that was just an Astro GCD, if I'm not mistaken. Then there was what looks to be a chainsaw right there on the right. We have, some of these skills are just normal skills that we already have.
Yeah, that's...
So we have this, what's interesting here is the paladin skill was one of the first things we noticed. Not
here we go.
Right
now
there.
you decide to help.
Skill.
Yeah,
and no,
jump
not
attack.
Let you dismount and immediately do skills. That's not something. So this looks like...
Man, I wish they would let me jump off a chocobo and do a jump attack.
An AoE Requiescat because of the little charge up animation that it does
at the
start. So I hope it's just a Requiescat upgrade that makes it AoE with this conal effect.
That looked really cool.
As opposed to another skill like a single target and AoE equivalent. The rest of the Requiescat combo is AoE anyway. So I hope that that's all that is just some sort of update to that and then going into the phase. We don't really get to stay on them to see if they immediately go into the phase right there, so it's a little hard to tell. Then you have the red mage whip. There you see the little
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I got distracted. Night Coffee, thank you for the 21-month resub. Appreciate it a lot.
Whip that he does. Now the real question is this just another finisher? Every red mage I'm sure looks at that and goes, wow, whip. And then they think about it and they go, no, it can't be another melee combo finisher. They can't have 7. It can't be 4. It can't be. All right.
Looks like rose vine. It looks like a thorny rose vine.
Absolutely can't be another melee combo finisher. There's just no way. It has to be something else. Everyone's going to be praying for that one. That's for certain.
I think it might be.
Then we see...
You're pretty close range.
So we see the chainsaw, the regular chainsaw there, and that's going to come to blows with something we'll see in a second. Now, with samurai, there's quite a lot going on with the samurai animation, as we see. So that part briefly looked like... Well, it didn't really look like Kaiten that much.
No, it's not Kaiten.
The end part where he's holding it up does, but we don't...
It's not Kopi Ten.
Really see the Kaiten animation swing before that. I tried looking at it right here.
It's not.
You can see, actually it does. It does kind of look like the Kaiten animation swing. But I don't know what Ikishoten looks like off the top.
It kind of does, but I don't think it is.
So I bet that's probably just Ikishoten and this is a new follow-up. But they have what looks to be kind of like a super Tenka Goken animation. Because that's what the end part here is the old Tenka Goken animation when it was a conal. Now it's been a point blank the entire time. So I'm wondering if that's just a new finisher for Iki Shoten. Like, I wonder though, because do they really want to go that route with? I guess it wouldn't really be that surprising to have something else added into Oginami Kiri, or to just give them another OGCD that's only activatable during Iki Shoten.
He's speaking
it's tough to tell.
samurai
Or
language. I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
Because here's the thing: the fact that it's an
I have literally no idea what he's talking about.
Tenka Goken animation at the
See, he's even mixing it up. It's so confusing. All these words.
I wonder if under Iki Shoten, if you're getting an upgraded version of your EI Jutsus potentially on top of Oginami Kiri. So this looks like whatever this is, it looks like it's
like for me, I'm like, oh yeah, the Ikinami Kiri, yeah, totally. Like it looks like they've upgraded the Iki Goten Nami Kiri. Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
An evolution of an existing skill and probably not a brand new button.
Definitely.
But then you have the machinist one, which I think is interesting because right before the samurai animation, we
Google
see
Translate
chainsaw use.
I need a Rosetta Stone.
60-second cooldown. Immediately after the samurai animation, you have this rotosaw charge up into a follow-up chainsaw animation. So obviously instinct would dictate that it's potentially some sort of chainsaw combo of some kind, which I wouldn't have had on my list, but I wonder more so if it's just after using X number of tools, you get some sort of like bonus super chainsaw, like, you know, just you activate enough tools and you like put together the piece and then, oh yeah, you know what? I wonder, we don't see his animations off screen. I wonder if reassemble resets, or doesn't even reset the cooldown, but gives you the ability to instantly activate drill, air anchor, or chainsaw with an enhanced version. That would make sense, because if there is a reassemble animation, we wouldn't see it in the time that's there. That makes a lot of sense to me, that it's actually something based on reassemble.
Okay.
Not too unlike a
Drill 2.
What's the ninja move? God, it's been in the game for the longest time. That lets you use Hyosho. It's too early. I shouldn't have done this first thing in the morning. I should have given my brain more time. Yeah, Kusatsu. Yeah, it's like Kusatsu, right? I wonder if the reassemble is like giving a Kusatsu effect, where it's just like giving that enhanced version. So I think, yeah, if we could see the animation off to the left there, I would know for certain. But I think that might be it. It's either something with hypercharge or something with reassemble. And I'm willing to bet it's something with reassemble instead. I guess actually another comparison would have been Warrior upgrading their skills as well. Now, that's a pretty animation. Big thing here.
That's very flashy.
The Astro skill puts all these stars around the party member.
Yeah, true.
So part of me wants to think it's some upgrade to just Helios, either just a direct upgrade to Helios, or part of like a change. I mean, it could just be part of a new skill, like an AoE effect around all your party members. It's like the least telling thing, especially the Astra one, because it doesn't really look like a barrier. It really just looks like a heal effect. And I don't.
Does it look like a heal, or does it look like a buff?
Of something like a barrier. There's certain animations that you can usually hone in on, things that crit, things that create barriers or whatnot. And I don't think that we can really tell that.
I can't tell
well from here if it's a buff.
I cannot tell.
It's just some sort of AoE effect. It looks nice, but that's all. And then you get the Super Ninja Frog. I'm assuming they're getting upgrades to both of their their more usual gauge spenders. Bava, I would also like to assume, would have a wait a minute, we had Hellfrog medium, now this is Hellfrog large. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Perfect.
Hellfrog large.
And then we could have Hellfrog extra large, extra large, and then we could go into the triple, and then they could just keep doing that, and it's gonna work out. But yeah, the ninja spell. Now the interesting thing is, it looks like it leaves behind a blue fire AoE on the ground. So this may be a new persisting AoE from Ninja as well. Oh no, it disappears pretty quick. It persists for just long enough to fool me until I keep pressing play. So, you know, there's always that, I suppose. See Malefic there in the back. See a Thunder spell. I think that was a regular. Wait a minute. Hold on. I need to go back and see that. Okay, I wanted to see if that was just a regular Requiescat animation in the back right there. No, that's a ninja Raiton animation is what it is. Yeah, you see the ninja cast Raiton here. There's
Only
the
Mr.
Malefit.
Happy will know. Like, is
And then
this
we
an
just see some of
existing
the
spell effect or is this a new spell effect?
other Viper animations here, which the Viper animations, all you can say is they're just cool looking swings and animations. There's not really a whole lot, some of which we've already seen. So it's
I like
not really
the
a whole
spinny
lot of new
red
stuff.
Darth Maul shit you got going
Yeah,
on.
if
That's
anything,
cool.
Raiton just looking nice. Not really a whole lot to say about Raiton there. And then we just have these bits and pieces. We have all the crafters. I actually always really enjoy the little crafter and gatherer sections of the benchmark. They always throw them in there, showcasing some of the gear and the animations in the game. You know, on this now with the graphics update.
He has the. I know Mr. Happy has the title for
deeply,
fishing.
I suppose.
He's the world-class troller title.
To pull apart here and look at. Getting a look at the trolls in game as well. Final Fantasy XI players, of course, gonna recognize them. We're always just gonna call them the trolls, regardless of their 14 name. It's just gonna be a thing. Man, look at that in the back. Look at this. This looks cool.
It does look cool, yeah. Is that Dark Knight here?
I have a hard time remembering what's already in game and what's not. So I see sometimes things like that are there, and I see them, and I'm just like, that thing looks cool. Got the Dark Knight just chilling out.
It looks awesome.
Sword right here, and then you got some other stuff. There's Wooklamot with hers. Recognize that from a mile away. See the White Mage weapon too, which I definitely don't recognize. This one right here. I don't remember which things we saw. I remember seeing all the armors during the previous live letters, but all the weapons, I don't remember what we have, because I think we have seen some of them.
The new jobs is Viper and Pictomancer.
Like they've shown pictures of some of the weapons as well. And my memory is not great with all that. I recognize the tiny scholar cap over there on the left. Hey, look, guys, the Viera has the tiny scholar cap.
It's so stupid.
Enjoy.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Detail, noticed, recognized. Viera hat, spotted in the wild. It's so small that they actually let them have it.
Yes. I hate that. I really hope it's not the trend where they're just going to make all the hats for Viera tiny so you can wear it instead of putting holes in the hat for characters with ears.
I'm just the one pointing out the
Let
details
my ears
here.
clip through.
They got to keep the tiny hat.
The tiny hat is it's just such a
the animations. Again, really
annoying solution
to go back through them showcasing animations like this. I felt like a lot of the animations, both in this scene and again what we saw earlier, were again more expressive than what they normally do. But I'm hoping that's not something that we only see in the benchmark. Even if they're showing they can do it in the benchmark, it's something we really need to see in the story itself. I recently played through Honkai's latest patch 2.1, and I've come to recognize now how much I really, if I'm gonna have to watch a lot of story cutscenes, I really want a lot of animations to pull away from just the length of what I'm doing. And Honkai doesn't have that. It has like a couple of major animation cutscenes like every like 2 or 3 hours.
What?
And then I need these like little moments right here with them rolling up a map and stuff. It lets me appreciate the longer scenes a lot more because I don't feel like
he's talking about Star Rail. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, when people say Honkai, now I don't know what they mean. I don't know if they're talking about Star Rail or they're talking about Honkai Impact.
Just staring at mouths move the entire time. So I really hope to see this expressed a lot in the cutscenes and not just here. But we have, it's kind of tough just because in previous benchmarks, they have done some animation stuff that we then don't see in the game itself, or doesn't feel like it's consistent with everything as we go through. So I guess I'm teeter-tottery on.
You can see that armor better from this angle, the Dark Knight armor.
Whether
see that?
I guess I'm teeter-tottery on.
Ooh, it's sexy.
On whether or not I expect it.
What's this armor on the far right?
In the back left.
I don't recognize it, but
that's literally.
Maybe it is in the game, and I just.
I can see the guitar strings right there. The tuners. Sorry, I can see the guitar tuners.
Oh my god! I just realized that I need to get the PvP armor from Crystal Conflict. This is gonna be so much
over
work.
there on the bard weapon.
I should try to just do my frontline PvP daily every day, and that should do it.
Alpaca. It's so nice to see Shishio here. Wasn't a mount I thought I'd see. Shishio is the Mount Rockon Criterion mount specifically.
I do not like this mount.
Not the variant version.
Yeah,
so
I
was
really
just nice
don't
to see.
like
I like
it.
seeing it.
Mr. Happy likes
they've got a
it.
few
I
different
don't
ones here,
like it.
but I mean that was the one.
I think it looks really cursed.
I definitely didn't expect them to just randomly throw in there. Yeah, and then we've got them running over the distance. We've got regular Sabotenders too. I didn't actually check to see if there was a barrel tender in the back somewhere this entire time.
Giga tender?
Like during the whole fighting sequence, I didn't even look for a barrel tender. Oh, that down there too. I don't think there was one down there. That's a lot of alpacas. Yeah, they've got a little bit of the tilting animations here that we saw in the live letter itself, which I hadn't actually noticed when I was watching this.
Oh yeah,
it didn't even like occur to me. It just seemed like such a natural thing that was occurring.
Yeah, the tilting.
Yeah, I just didn't even think about it. We've got.
I didn't think about it either.
Right here as well. So yeah, good showcase on those.
Now you're gonna tilt a little bit when you fly, and I agree. Like I don't think most people noticed it because it does look very natural.
Then we get into the dungeon itself, and there's a couple of things that we see here that are fairly interesting. You know, we see a broil.
That's a Pictos.
Very briefly
Pictomancer's
right
spell.
We see
Go back.
Reaper animation, right?
Go back.
Picto animation.
I want to see There it is. Oh, cool. See?
Broil. I see a Picto animation. Very.
It looks like you're painting boulders. Oh my god! It's stone 4, stone 5.
I see a Picto animation very briefly.
It looked almost like you were creating a golem.
We see a Reaper animation right there. You know, a lot of these are things we've already seen. Looks like we see, again, there's another Picto. This is really, they really snuck the Picto animations.
Yeah, they did.
But they're also all the Picto animations that we've already seen.
Oh, okay.
So there's not really a whole lot to put forth here. Some Viper animations. There's
the
pretty. Water forming. Looked like we saw a glare there very briefly.
Yeah, it's like that ice spell that black mages do. Only Pictomancer version, or is it water?
It looks like there were more projectiles for the glare, unless I'm bugging out real quick, and it's like mixing with the Picto animation, so it's hard to tell.
That's cool. See,
because that's what they all look like. They're part of one. Because that's
it's really pretty
Picto spell as well.
It just you can pick out. Oh my gosh, pick out the Picto animations really well because they're so unique looking.
And then they go all the way up to the top, and then we're gonna be good to go up here. We got Galul just sitting here waiting, looking like a Chad as he has for the past 15 years. He's from Final Fantasy XI, for those of you who didn't know.
I am honestly so amazed by Mr. Happy's extensive Final Fantasy knowledge, because he has not only like encyclopedic knowledge of FF14, but he also has encyclopedic knowledge of like every Final Fantasy game of all time. It's insane.
The Tomahawk and the Unmend on the left and the right. Those are clearly upgrades. Clearly. Yeah, we've already seen this animation a handful of times, so this one's obviously not new. Viper tanking, that's toxic. This is the Moogle beam, which we've already seen.
Yeah, that Moogle.
So nothing new to see there. All the Picto animations are really things we've already seen. I like the little paint drop at the end.
Yeah, that's cute. I didn't notice that before.
Just fabulous. So this one's interesting. This is almost certainly another Lily spell, but I actually want to check something. Yeah. It looks briefly like it's actually casted, whatever it is, from this part right here. But it's hard to tell because it just kind of goes instantly into the end of the cast animation. So it's actually hard. I don't think it's a dead set. There's a cast actually happening here. I think it actually is just another instant Lily ability. And I think that's just...
Yeah, it looks like an instant cast.
An upgrade to a Flatus, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of hard to tell because it's very Lily-centric, and they might just move all of their animations to be more Lily-esque, but it's either an upgraded Medica or an upgraded Afflatus. I'm not really sold on which one it is just yet, but that is just, I mean, that's the standard, all the petals and everything floating around. I'd be okay if they go in either direction with that one. It really, the petals are the big thing, or if they've changed the way that lilies interact, so they have lilies as part of more of the abilities as well.
Okay.
There's a lot of room for them to go. I've seen people wish that white mage got essentially.
Yeah, it looks like it leaves something in the team. You can see that everybody's lit up by this light effects and surrounded by the petals coalescing around them.
A lily activate button that changes Medica into a lily. So you can like choose to do that and like change cure and Medica into the lily skills respectively, which I've never really thought was a necessary thing. But there's that. Oh, look, there's still a fairy. I haven't seen that. Now, Dark Knights, I'm actually kind of curious. I want to go back a little bit because Dark Knight, we see. So unfortunately, I'm not entirely boned up on my Dark Knight animations. So that looked like it was just their. I know, especially.
I have no idea.
The animations for each individual race.
I haven't played Dark Knight in a while.
I'm trying to determine if some of these are existing ones before they zoom in, or if those are all entirely new ones. Because this is the new one.
What do you think, Dark Knights?
This looks like it's, yeah, some sort of new. I think that's a new combo finisher. Because it looks like they're doing a 1-2-3 combo before they go into this.
It does feel like that, yeah.
And then it's kind of hard to tell because that's just what it looks like. Because what it looks like and what it is are not necessarily the same thing. But that's definitely what it looks like. But it could just be an upgrade to one of their existing skills, like Shadowbringer, for example. So I don't think that's 100% set in stone.
Okay.
What we do see, oh, you know what? It has to, you know what? He did it twice in a row. It looked like. No, that's a different animation, I think, right there. That was next to it. It was very similar animation, though, just looking at it one more time.
Okay.
The Dark Knight animation has me thrown because it feels like a lot's happening with Dark Knight in this trailer. But he does that. Oh, no, that's an uppercut. The next one is the next
uppercut
one is
new,
I think. No, it's not even Blood Spiller because he does that, and then he just does the overhead right afterwards. Yeah, no, that's just another. Yeah, I wish I should have brushed up on all that, but the animation at the end there, I definitely don't recognize. With it leaves these like tendrils behind. See, it like does the spike, and then the like dark tendrils like kind of just phase out. I don't know. Right there.
All those slashes kind of look the same to me.
I thought I saw Blood Spiller right.
So I have a hard time.
Right before,
but I feel like if you play Dark Knight, you know which is new.
Yeah, that's Blood Spiller. And then there's it makes it look like Dark Knight picked up a few animations, but it only looks like a few new animations to me because I don't normally play it. So not my best dissection. It's kind of tough to tell, but
that's when he doesn't know that much about.
It looks like a lot of it. I'm thinking it's either upgraded animations or another combo that's not just the singular combo that they have. This I immediately said AoE chain stratagem last night. That was the only thing that made sense to me when I saw that last night. So that's what I'm leaving it as guess-wise.
Probably.
And then we've got
that's what everybody was saying.
With a big claw animation coming out of
that was gigantic.
It didn't necessarily look like it was casted like Communio. So I'm wondering if that's just another. I wonder if that's just an upgrade to
that's nice.
Their existing AoE. It's a really big and
gigantic animation.
To me, that's too much animation.
Yeah, that's what I have to say.
To their AoE skills.
I mean, you are blacking out half of the arena with this spell. It's all in shadow. Like it's kind of maybe too much.
That one's tough because that's a lot happening right
there.
That's
a lot happening. Yes.
And it's clearly
you can't see half the stuff on the. Like good luck dodging an AoE right under that. It's gonna be like Red Mage LB3 all over again.
I wonder. Oh, and their shroud also ends right afterwards. Yeah, now they're.
So what we are showing, this is the benchmark trailer, but Mr. Happy went through it like frame by frame, and he's found all of the a lot of new spell animations
out of Shroud.
So it's really interesting.
So I mean, it's in the same place.
So like we don't have a Job Actions trailer yet, but this is like we're gonna make our own Job Actions trailer right now.
I mean, here's the thing: it ends Shroud doesn't mean it was necessarily something that ended Shroud because that's what it does. It could just be the last thing they did in Shroud as well, and because you could theoretically completely screw your Shroud and just not do your actual finisher. But if they're gonna show a move, I feel like they'd sooner show an actual finisher. So I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it's just, if that's what it is, if they just ended it because it was the 5th skill that they used, or if it was something that either came after Communio, or yeah, they made that one a little bit tougher to tell because we can't see what the Reaper is doing in the back.
You can't see what the Reaper does.
We can only see, only thing we see in this scene in the background is we see Kryl like waving her brush around like back here. You can see very briefly, see just waving the brush around. I do
that's all
like
you
the
can
big
see.
claw though. The claw is a pretty nice
It's
thing.
awesome.
Whatever it is, it also looks instant, but that could just be when they do the thing. Dude, the guitar. Look at the guitar bow, man. That thing is cool. That thing stands out so
I don't know
well.
about it. I don't like it that much.
Guitar bow.
I think I prefer
I love it.
simple bow personally. But
and then this animation's interesting because it looks like it's an AoE. It looks like hyper rain of arrows, but it looks like a big finisher AoE. Either something they would do after burst arrow, apex, and blast arrow, or something that uses their gauge entirely new. But then it ends in like a rain of arrows animation. So I really like that one. It's a very nice animation for Bard. That's a feel good animation to see for Bards looking for their skill in the trailer. Then we have the 2-minute buff Smile. Get to see Ultra Instinct Viper briefly. Although the big thing for Viper is coming up. It's going to be their LB3. Now there is one more skill, and I actually wanted to pay attention to this.
Okay.
Going into this part, because I wasn't convinced last night whether or not this part with the warrior was them actually doing an intercept style skill where they dash in front of the person, or if that was just a cool, like that was just their way of doing a cool animation. So the big thing that it looks like there that happens is it looks just like an upgrade to Bloodwetting to me. It doesn't look like it's a warrior skill that dashes to an ally and makes a shield. It just looks like Wuklamot is doing, it's like a cool animation where Wuklamot just steps in front of you. It's hard to tell because the way the feet slide is very telling of what a skill would do. So you can see like literally she just slides into place, which is that's not, if they were going to animate this well, they wouldn't do that. That would be a way that a skill
that's how a skill would work.
Actually dashed in front of somebody.
So it's got to be a skill.
And this is the only warrior skill that we actually see. But to me, it just looks like Bloodwetting 2. This part don't take too seriously. Don't worry about that. There's always like one blocking animation in like every benchmark that is just nonsense. Like I remember in the Heavens Ward benchmark, they showed the paladin blocking a fireball from Nidhogg, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, we're gonna be able to block magic." We didn't get blocking magic in Heavens.
Oh, okay. It's just for show. It could just be for show.
So I think that's just, they just showed that for the sake of having a really cool scene to showcase the warrior skill. And then of course we have the Viper LB3.
Yeah.
Right,
oh
just
man, it looks so good. Yeah.
Puts them apart and bam. Oh, look at those the 3 stopping points on the way down before the final explosion.
Fucking cool.
But yeah,
Show
I'm
it
not
again.
entirely convinced that's a warrior gap closer to another player. It could be the
Show again.
Splits them apart to showcase.
It's my Eleanor's pole blade. Check it out.
Having a really cool scene.
Here we go.
To showcase the warrior skill.
It's my Art of War right there.
The Viper LB3.
Yeah.
Right here. Just air
with the jump attack.
Splits them apart and
bam.
Oh, look at those the 3 stopping points on the way down before the final explosion. But yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that's a warrior gap closer to another player. It could be that the nascent equivalent dashes, because there's Bloodwetting and there's nascent.
He looks hurt.
It could be
He's
the
like,
fact
oh.
it could be that nascent does do that now.
That's
which would
it,
also
bro.
make sense. That would still be in my line of thought of
He's
it being
still
an upgrade
alive.
specifically to the short warrior cooldown. And that would be something pretty standoutish for warrior. But it's just it's hard to tell. The benchmarks just sometimes have nonsense that are completely unrelated
This is so anime.
to the actual jobs. So much so to the point where I can't say I think it's that.
This is so anime. It's ridiculous.
In it at all. So that pretty much covers the entire benchmark. There's a lot to pull apart from that, and there's a lot of speculation, but I think that a big thing is actually animation upgrades, what we're seeing here. I do think there's a couple of brand new skills.
Yeah, the astrology spell.
Brand new, I mean literally like another button to press. But I think the majority of these look like they're going to overwrite buttons we're already pressing. The summoner skill, for example, I think that's just your usual skill that you normally use when you're in any of your eggy forms. You know, monk, I already said, I think is an upgrade to their basic combo skills. Thunder, the high thunder, you know, I'd assume that's just a thunder upgrade. So, and then Toxicon, another Toxicon upgrade for Sage. So I think we're seeing the non-bloaty skills, like the things that aren't really going to push your hot bars to have that much more going on.
But look at the Dragoon spell. It was so cool.
Like, for example, even this with Dragoon's really tough because we know they're getting a rework. But like, if I had to base this on the way the game currently is, this would be after Stardiver or something. You know, this would be something that just follows up something else you do in Life of the Dragon, for example. You know, and not a brand new button as a whole. So I'm quite curious to see what of these actually ends up being new. And what if these actually end up just being upgrades to existing systems? But I think almost all of them are.
He thinks they're mostly upgrades to
existing.
I think that's reasonable to assume because they want to save all the really pog stuff, like really biggest and most flashiest cool spells for the job actions trailer. Like they wouldn't want to put all of that in a benchmark trailer that they know we're going to do this to.
That's a thing a lot of people actually want at this moment. They want upgrades. They want upgrades that are maybe more meaningful than just an animation change. I do think that, like, people want to feel like they're doing something new, but at the same time, they don't want more buttons. So what they're going to actually do with any of these skills, bit of a mystery. We'll find out on May 16th. We'll find out a lot more on May 16th. But I think those are also the right skills to show. I think when people come out of this seeing upgraded skills, they get excited enough to see something that's kind of cool and new and fresh, even if
I'm
it's
pretty excited.
Functionally be not really that different. And the few bits that do look like they could be functionally different, for example, potentially whatever the Astro skill was, we just kind of have to wait and see. It's not really worth getting worried about your button bloat over. They've been pretty good at keeping it to about the same mark for most jobs, if not lowering it. Paladin being my one case where I don't know. I'm scared every time I think of Paladin getting new stuff. But all the same,
Paladin is complicated now, isn't it?
Only a little bit to pull apart and maybe debate about. Again, the Dark Knight section really confused the heck out of me. Really confused the heck out of me because it looks like there's quite a bit going on. I think, again, the 1, 2, 3 upgrade or a second combo would be potential, but who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
That's the whole point. It's speculation, and we all love speculating. So
I love speculating.
That's going to cover my breakdown for this. Oh, there's
actually
one more thing I wanted to check. I really skipped through a lot of the weapons because I got used to seeing all the armor. So I wanted to. I took note of these. I took note of the summoner book. I couldn't really take note of the dancer weapons that were here.
But apparently, they've data mined this armor already, and now I feel really conflicted. Like, should I look at data mined armor that I really want to see, or do I want to not do that and save myself? Like, have a, be surprised and look at it when I'm meant to look at it. I feel extremely conflicted about this.
Yeah, it's like
I feel very tempted.
Kind of horizontally, they look kind of spiky. That's not a great way of seeing them, in all honesty. You can see some of the other weapons and armor and shields that the NPCs are using, which will be nice because you'd assume, we'll probably.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. I think.
I didn't really look at the paladin weapon.
I love surprises.
One right here, which the paladin weapon looks fine. It looks like a paladin weapon to me. It just that's sure a paladin
weapon. Right. Sure looks like a paladin weapon.
And then the red mage is so busy doing the whip animation, I can't even.
The whip is cool, man. It's like, the thorny rose vine. It's badass.
I will say, I noticed that when they do the whipping animation on the red mage, it looks like the weapon straight up. Look, it's just out of their hands. There's no focus or anything. Like, it's actually the sword turning into the whip and then returning to their hand.
Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, you're right.
Which is a fun little bit animation-wise. And then, that certainly looks like a samurai sword to me, so that one's kind of hard to tell.
Wait, do you throw your sword and your little perfume bottle at the monster, and then the sword turns into the vine, and then The bottle turns into the roses.
I actually prefer that with the katanas. I like them to be kind of simply designed. Yeah, and then the machinist is in the middle of this animation pretty much the whole time. And by the time they come out of it, it's... Yeah, I can't
There's
even
explosions.
It's a long-barreled pistol.
Going on.
Is all I could tell. That's all I could really get. The Astro Globe sure does look like an Astro Globe. The ninja weapon, I can't really get a good look at. The problem is a lot of these weapons I cannot really get a good look at. Like, the best look I get is some of the stuff that's right here with the moblins and everything. Like that sword right there, Dark Knight sword, which sure does look like a Dark Knight sword.
Oh my God, Mr. Happy.
that's how I feel
what are you
looking
doing?
at half these weapons. I'm like, that sure is a Dark Knight sword. That sure is a White Mage staff. Although I do actually like the way that one looks.
Look at eye roll.
Oh, man. And then, you know, Wooklamott's axe we've already seen before.
Buggle sword.
So there's that. That's not even a new thing to look at. And then the bard, honestly, the most impressive one to look at for me was the bard bow. I can't even really tell much with the scholar weapon over here. Not that I'm ever particularly thrilled, but I thought the summoner book earlier actually looked pretty good. There's actually a very brief scene right here where you can get a really, really good look at the scholar weapon right there. Where is it? It should be right here. Yeah, you can get kind of a decent look at it. You can see it's got like the circle on the right. You get another one a little bit later.
I can't really see it that well, but it's okay.
Look,
it's a book. Okay, it's not gonna look that surprising. It's a fucking book, like every other scholar weapon.
The scholar section happens right here. You get kind of a decent look at it. It's certainly got a lot of details on the outside. I mean, you can see it's got like the feather with the it's got like a little section to put a quill right here and a few other things. It's a book. I will say it does look like a higher effort book than a lot of the other books, even from just this angle right here. So, you know, there's that.
It's a higher effort book.
Like you can see, look, it's got, is that Captain America's shield as a book? Is this what Captain America's shield would look like?
Kind of looks like that.
Alexander made it?
Look, dude, I just don't care about books.
Or something? I don't know.
I think that's obvious.
Right there. I don't know. That's what it looks like for me. But I think that's as much as we're going to be able to dissect.
Books aren't exciting
weapons. And this, of course, we still have question marks about where it actually fits. All we can tell for certain is that. And the Reaper weapon do be looking pretty cool. I do like that. I think we saw that one in the previews before. Man, that bard animation. And the bard bow. The bard bow
that's
I really like. And I'm going to be on Fizz Range, so
I do not.
One of the jobs I'm playing, so I better like it. I better freaking like it. But yeah, that is going to be a wrap for my breakdown of the benchmark trailer. I'm going to get this up on
super
YouTube
awesome.
ASAP, and I'm sure we'll all be discussing this for the next month. Listen,
I'll give you all the link.
The good news is we know when the next live letter is. We know when the combat live letter is. The bad news is it's currently April 13th, and the combat live
go over there and give him a like.
Letter is May 16th. So patience,
give
friends.
him a sub.
Patience. You can run the benchmark every day until then. Take a look at these things.
Maybe I will, dude.
See how good your PC is. You know, do all that good stuff. You can do it.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Run the benchmark.
I'll be sure to do my best
every day.
In the meantime. Anyway, that's
look
gonna
at
be
Bunny
a wrap
Boys
for this video. Thank you to both my Twitch and YouTube chats for being patient with me while I went.
He's
into
actually, he's a pro. Mode. He really is a pro.
And with that, I'm gonna go back to being a live streamer now. So thanks everyone for watching this video. Stay tuned for more Dawntrail.
Did he even edit this at all? I think that he didn't. Like, you didn't need to even record this as a video. You could have just done this all live on Twitch, Happy. Like, this is crazy. How you could just go through and based on your existing FF14 knowledge, do the breakdown just like that. You didn't have to go back and edit any of this stuff. Like, I feel like if I wanted to do this, I would have such a hard time. That's why I would not do this, because it would be awful to watch me try to do this. I'd be like, okay. And so
those spell as well.
There's some really pretty sparkly,
almost certainly another Lily
animations here, and like I don't know if it's already in the game, but look how pretty it is. Oh my gosh, maybe it's like I would recognize Picto stuff, right? Because it's brand new. But oh my goodness, it's so pretty, and I don't know, like maybe that's something astrologians already have. I can't remember, but it looks really good if it's new. But if it's not, well, it still looks good. So, God bless Mr. Happy. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Oh, you were watching live as he recorded it. Oh, that's cool. Well, it was very impressive. I enjoyed the video quite a lot. He took it apart with his knowledge. So that's what I wanted to see. They didn't put anything too crazy in there, but I think what's most exciting, Bard ability, this summoner ability, maybe Ramu related, that's thunder. That was really awesome. This Dragoon Nidhogg looking thing, I'm not gonna be able to find it easily, but that was super, super cool. And of course, for me, the most hype thing being the Viper LB3. Viper is the job I'm most excited about for Dawntrail. That's my new main for Dawntrail. Unless the job ends up being really complicated. Then if it's too hard and I'm not having fun, then I won't play. But I'm gonna try because I like having twin blades. That's my weapon of choice. But yeah. Zep, you would not be able to do a samurai part. Your copy of Rosetta Stone arrived. That was one of the most impressive parts of this video. And he's like, oh yeah, the Iki Goten is being upgraded from Watashiwa 5 and yeah, I would need an interpreter. I don't, that's actually a reason why I struggle to learn samurai, because every time people are trying to describe the abilities to me, it's just like all in another language. Keep trying. No. No. No.